Welcome to the Texas Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participate in this event. We have some fantastic schools here today with us. My name is Jessica and I'll be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items for you. Your camera and your microphones are off, so the participants cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to presenters at any time. This is just one of many sessions happening, so make sure you check back on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Texas. I'd like to now turn it over to our first presenter, the University of Tennessee.
Thank you, Jessica. Let me get my screen shared. There we go. Thank you. So again, my name is Richard Spencer. I am the Assistant Director of First Year Recruitment here with the University of Tennessee. I am based out of Austin, Texas, and happy to be here tonight to share a little bit more about UT. To kick us off, just some background information. We are the public flagship and land grant institution for the state of Tennessee. Founded in 1794. 24,000 undergraduate students, not nearly as big, I think, as some people might assume that we are, but on a traditional 910-acre campus, historic traditional campus feel in Knoxville. We have about 185 different academic programs to choose from on campus through 11 different academic colleges. As the flagship, we aren't necessarily known for just one program. We don't specialize in anything in particular. We are the one-stop shop for the state of Tennessee in that we offer just about everything. Almost anything you could be looking for, we likely have on our academic list. I mentioned we are located in Knoxville, Tennessee. It is the third biggest city in Tennessee, behind Nashville and Memphis. Roughly a medium-sized city of about 350,000, 750 in the metro area. More than just a college town, it is a true urban feel. But at the same time, we are 45 minutes outside the most visited national park in the country with the Great Smoky Mountains right there in our backyard. Campus is situated right on the Tennessee River with lots of mountains and what we call the urban getaways nearby. So any kind of outdoor activity you could really imagine we have really within about an hour's drive of campus. The best of both worlds to have that urban feel right there at the heart of the mountains. Knoxville is in itself a pretty artsy town. Lots of live music venues, theaters, art festivals, things happening downtown. A really cool scene in Market Square in downtown Knoxville. Knoxville is also home to several major corporations, most notably, I think most of us know Regal Cinemas, if you've ever been to a Regal movie theater, or Discovery. If you've watched any of the HGTV or Food Network shows, all of that is based out of Knoxville. So for internships and co-op opportunities, it's nice to have these major organizations right there in our hometown. I mentioned the UT was founded in 1794, lots of history, tradition, school spirit. The color orange really infiltrates everything that we do on campus. So tradition is a big part of the campus community. In terms of student life on campus, we do require our first year students to live on campus in one of the residence halls, and then after that, it would be up to you. We are the only school in the country whose mascot is the volunteer. We do take community engagement, community involvement, leadership, and service at heart. That is a big part of the culture and who we are here at Tennessee. Study abroad opportunities are also a big opportunity for our students, about 53 different countries all around the world. And any time in that 2-year window in between, we actively encourage our students to study abroad, currently doubling the national average, sitting at about 20% of our student population that take advantage of that opportunity. In terms of becoming a Tennessee Vol or a Vol in progress, as we say, a VIP, we do accept either our own application or we're on the Common App as well. An application and a self-reported record and an application fee. Those are the only things required as part of our application process. We are fully test optional through at least 2025. So we know that test scores are not required, but if you do apply test optional, there is going to be a separate essay requirement. Learner's recommendation, supporting statement, these are optional pieces that you can include, but of course are not required on the front end. We do recalculate and weight a student's GPA based on the core courses that are listed here. It's a standard 4.0 scale, but half a point weighting for honors and a full point for AP and IB classes. We do offer out-of-state scholarships based on test score and GPA, and we have a test optional scholarship as well. This just gives you an idea of our top level, the volunteer scholarship, a minimum 3.8 GPA, and the testing levels that you see listed here. We also have the Explore Scholarship that goes down to a 3.6 GPA and has a lower threshold for testing. Again, these scholarships are automatic. As long as you meet the minimum criteria, you would be automatically awarded this scholarship. The Beacon Scholarship is our test optional version with a 3.8 GPA. We will review all students for the Beacon Award under a holistic review approach with the same dollar value that the Volunteer and the Explore scholarships would offer. We do encourage you to come visit. We are wide open for campus tours Monday through Friday, any day the university is open. We have our in-person tours available. We do offer a virtual tour option as well, and the ability to chat and meet with current students. So please visit us, visit.utk.edu, and we would love to have you on campus. That is me, that's my time. My email is pretty simple, just richard@utk.edu. My phone number listed there, so feel free to contact me if you have any questions.
All right, thank you, Richard. So next up, we have the University of South Carolina.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Scott Goldberg. I am an admissions representative with the University of South Carolina. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to get my screen shared here. Get these slides going. So a little bit about the information, about the University of South Carolina. So we are a school of about 27,000 undergraduate students. So we are a medium to big school in South Carolina. We have a lot of students coming from all over the country. So something we're really excited about is the fact that we do have 42% of our current freshman class is from out of state. About 46% or so of all students at USC are from out of state. And one of the things that means is that campus is always very lively. Of course, during the football season, during basketball, during baseball, campus is lively all the time anyway. All these things are keeping our students on campus. But it's just nice to know that no matter what, there's always going to be students around. We have some 560 different clubs and organizations on campus. There's Greek life. There is student government, there's ROTC, there's club and intramural sports. So there's a lot of different ways to get involved on campus. And that's something that we really like to have, is that vibrant kind of setting. We are in Columbia, South Carolina. So we are in the center of the state. We're in the capital. So it's really neat is actually this picture is from the center of our campus. And it's about a 5 to 10 minute walk from right here to the Capitol building in downtown Columbia. But the city kind of grew around the campus. So it's nice is that even though Columbia is right there, we still have this kind of separate campus feeling. So you still have that private college campus, but you have the benefit of the city right there. And there's tons of things that happen in Columbia. We have concerts, food festivals, culture festivals, music festivals. There's a luxury bowling alley and an old school movie theater right downtown. We have musicians come in, we have comedians come through, politicians come through a lot. So there's a lot of different things happening both on campus and in the city overall, which is really great. And then of course, we're about an hour and a half south of Charlotte, hour and a half from Charleston. So if you want to go skiing, we're like an hour and a half away from the mountains, or we're also an hour and a half away from the beach. So we're really centrally located. A lot of students will fly into Columbia, or you'll fly into Charlotte too, is another big airport that's right nearby. And then Atlanta is just about 3 hours away. So getting a little bit further. Now about the university itself. Or about the academics at the university, excuse me. We have 12 different academic colleges, and you can see all of them here. So we have a huge range of majors. We actually have 100 different majors, and then there's also minors, different cognates, areas you can study in. So overall, there's about 300 different combinations of different ways that you can study at the university. So as you can see, we've got arts and sciences, we've got business and education. Engineering is really big at South Carolina. Sport management has been growing. Of course, our nursing school and international business are probably our most famous programs, I guess you could say. International business we are proud to be home to the #1 international business program in the United States. So we're very proud of that. And then nursing program is a great program. Over the past 4 years or so, our students have had 100% pass rate on the NCLEX. So we're very excited about that. Growing school of public health again. And then you'll also see here the South Carolina Honors College. So you can be any program, any major, and be part of the Honors College. That does have a supplemental application to the regular application, which I'll go over in just a minute here. So just something to keep in mind. But with the Honors College, there are a couple added benefits for it. So every semester there's going to be 300 classes offered only for honors students. Some will be honors sections of classes, some will be honors classes specifically, so only designed for the honors college. Again, a second advisor, there are extra scholarship opportunities, there are extra studying abroad opportunities. So there's a lot of extra things that go into the honors college. But what's nice is that you're still a part of the general university, so you still live that full student life. Now, for some general history or context, this is the freshman profile for our incoming students. Now, I do want to point out that these are mid-ranges. So these are the middle 50% of admitted students. So that means that 25% of our students from out of state got in with less than a 1250 on the SAT, less than a 28 on the ACT. Now, we are on a 5.0 scale. So you can see that's why our GPA range, again, mid-range, goes from 4.1 to a 4.7. Now, we are test optional this year. So for current seniors, we are test optional. Now, students who apply with their test scores can have that as a benefit. If they have good scores, it can help out their application. If you don't submit test scores, it won't hurt your application in any way. So you don't get like points off or anything like that for not submitting them. It can just add more if you do have them. We do super score both the SATs and the ACTs. There's zero preference between either test. It's just whichever you prefer more, whichever you perform better on, then that might be the way you want to go. And then again, you can see too, with the difference between the profiles, it is a little more challenging for our out-of-state students to get into the university. Now, I just touched on this a little bit. So like I said, we are test optional through the spring, summer, and fall. Just a little bit further clarified, 2022 terms. And this applies to the admission to the university, for merit-based scholarships, for the honors college. So on your application is when you'll say whether you want to apply test optional or not. And then you'll kind of be able to lock that plan in, and that'll apply for all parts of the admissions process. And same thing goes for the merit-based scholarships and honors college. It won't hurt you to not have them. It can just help them if you do. And again, you'll be able to indicate that on your application. And for those merit-based scholarships, actually a good point to bring up as well, all students who apply are automatically considered for those scholarships. There's no extra application. There's nothing you need to do in order to be considered for them. The only exception to that is there are 3 of our top scholarships, the 3 highest ones. You do have to apply to the honors college to be considered for. But other than that, you still don't have to apply to the scholarship itself. Now, for the application requirements, you are going to select your top 2 majors, so your first 2 choices. In case you aren't accepted to your first choice, you would then be considered for your second. You'll self-report your senior year coursework. You'll submit the application, your unofficial transcript, and your non-refundable fee. But that is everything that is required. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and I'm going to pass it along.
All right, thank you so much. So next up, we have North Carolina State University.
All right, excellent. Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Bogan. I'm one of the associate directors at NC State University, located in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm so excited to connect with you to share some information about NC State and our admissions process. So NC State, as I mentioned, is located in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is the state capital. Our campus definitely gives students the best of both. We have that true campus feel, but then also the convenience of only being 1 mile outside of downtown Raleigh. Raleigh is consistently ranked as one of the best cities to live and work in the US, and our students definitely take advantage of the area. So as you'll see here, NC State is the largest university for the state of North Carolina. So with over 26,000 undergraduate students and a total student population of 36,000, students definitely come from all across the United States and around 120 different countries. And we are one of 2 public research intensive universities in the state of North Carolina. We are very well known for our STEM discipline programs, but we do have over 100 majors to choose from. So here you'll see the 4 pillars that are definitely very important to an education at NC State. To start off is our entrepreneurship. We have over 170 start-offs and spin-offs actually have been created from the undergraduate research at NC State. We are a top 20 university for our entrepreneurship. And definitely second here that really plays into it is also our co-op and internship opportunities. NC State's overall motto is definitely think and do. We are #1 for return on student investment among public institutions in North Carolina. And our Career Development Center does an exceptional job with really helping prepare students to get into that workplace after their 4 years on campus. Study abroad is also very popular. We have over 200 study abroad partners that we work with, and NC State has our own European Center located in Prague. Not only do we encourage students to gain experience through work opportunities, but also engaging in research. As a research-intensive university, we are creating new knowledge, and our students are taking advantage of those opportunities to conduct undergraduate research with leading experts in the field. We encourage students to get involved in research, whatever their major may be. So whether it's engineering all the way to psychology, all of our majors are really participating in research. As I mentioned previously, we do have over 100 majors, and we're very well known for our STEM discipline programs. But we also have a variety of humanities and social sciences. And about 20% of our freshman class actually enters in through our exploratory studies program, which is our version of undecided. You'll receive additional advising support, and you're able to take a course that really helps determine what might be the best major for you. And you are open to all 100 majors after you complete that exploratory studies program, and you still graduate within those 4 years. Now to dive a little bit into the application process, very brief here. The biggest things to note is we are on the Common App or Coalition application. We have no preference, either application is fine. There is an application fee of $85, but we also do accept fee waivers. An official high school transcript is required, and we are solely test optional for fall of 2022. So students should feel no pressure to submit test scores, as was mentioned by the other universities as well. It's really only going to benefit your application and will not hinder if you do not have test scores on file. Now listed out here are some of our dates and deadlines to apply. Early action is usually the best way to apply to NC State, and it also is the final deadline for anybody interested in our studio-based majors. November 1st is our early action deadline. And then if you're looking at regular decision, that's that January 15th, which is also our final deadline for fall admissions. Whether you apply early action or regular decision, you do have until May 1st to make your final decision. So what do we look for in an application? Overall, all of these components here definitely play into the factors that we'll look for in admissions. We take a very holistic approach to application review, and not one factor is more important than the other. One area where we really do want to make sure that you'll be successful at NC State is definitely through your academics throughout your time in high school. So we will be taking a look at what classes you took, the course rigor, but always review students in the context of the high school that they are coming from. Next here, you'll see a breakdown of the cost of attendance to NC State. We strongly encourage all students to apply by that early action deadline, November 1st, especially if they're interested in scholarship opportunities, since you'll have the most opportunities if you apply early action. Students apply by that November 1st. They then find out their decision by January 30th, and also will find out scholarships soon after. Through our scholarships as well, we do have a very prestigious Park Scholars that is available for students from out of state or North Carolina students. Our Park Scholarship program is full tuition, room and board, and fees throughout your 4 years at NC State, and also does have a very strong leadership component and service to that program as well. At this point, this does conclude all the information that I have for you this evening. If you do have any questions, please, of course, feel free to reach out to our office directly.
All right, thank you so much. So next up is High Point University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cecilia Granzin. I am the Associate Director for Regional Admissions for High Point University, located in High Point, North Carolina. I'm regionally located in Dallas, Texas. So I don't really have a traditional PowerPoint for you. You'll see on your screen just some rotating pictures of campus to really help you visualize what our campus looks like. And I want to start by talking a little bit about High Point itself. High Point, North Carolina is pretty central in the state. So we are a few hours from the coast, a few hours from the mountain. Great for someone who loves to be outdoors, maybe go whitewater rafting or hiking. The university itself, we are a small private liberal arts institution. And by small, I mean about 4,900 undergraduate students, and our average class size is 17. This allows us to really personalize and individualize your educational experience to help you reach your individual goals. And I want to take the time today to talk to you a little bit about what makes High Point uniquely different from literally the thousands of other wonderful institutions that there are out there. And there's our 4 pillars of academic success that makes us different. The first pillar is academic excellence. Any college nowadays is going to excel in academics, right? But High Point is unique in that we provide 100% of our incoming freshmen a professional success coach. This coach has a master's degree or higher and no teaching caseload. So they are 100% dedicated to making sure that you have a successful transition from high school to the High Point campus. Also within our academic excellence, we do have a 4-year graduation guarantee, getting you in and out in 4 years and being successful in your post-college journey. Second is hands-on experiential learning. 25% of your time is required to be hands-on experiential learning here at High Point. A couple examples of what this actually looks like. Our psychology students in the past have worked with the FBI to help them distinguish between real and fake threat letters. Our interior design students will study at the Lorenzo de' Medici Institute in Florence, Italy. Our business students have access to a state-of-the-art stock trading room. It's outfitted with a live stock ticker and financial databases. And of course, experiential learning, there is a guaranteed internship built into that as well. Thirdly, modeling values and building character. We live out the mantra here at High Point, to whom much is given, much is required. And our students give back a lot. They truly have a heart of service. Over 110,000 hours of community service is accrued by our students every single year. And lastly, and maybe most importantly, we are known as the premier life skills university. And I get a ton of questions about what this actually means. And we recognize here at High Point that an education and a degree is not enough to be successful in the workforce nowadays. Employers are looking for life skills such as emotional intelligence, sales skills, negotiation, growth mindset, the ability to learn from your failure. So you're not just getting an education here at High Point, you are building these life skills that will be essential in your success after you graduate college. Just as an example, our professional and career development department, they have done workshops here recently about how to read your pay stub, the ins and outs of a 401k. These are the skills that you need to be successful in your life after graduation. And what's the result of these 4 pillars of academic success? It's a 97% placement rate. 97% of our students are either employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. If you want to learn more about High Point, I'm happy to chat further, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.
All right, thank you so much. So next we have Elon University.
Awesome. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kimberly Romero, and I serve as Assistant Director of Admissions for Diversity and Access here at Elon University, the home of the Phoenix. And it's my pleasure to share a little bit more about us today. To give you an idea of where we're located and what our students embody here, we are a mid-sized campus, so we have around 6,300 undergraduate students, meaning you get to see 4 familiar faces and 4 new faces on your way to class every day. We have a pretty robust geographic diversity on campus, with about 76% of our students coming from out of state, so really getting those different walks of life and different experiences in your classroom discussions. We've got 50 countries represented in our 7% international student population and 18% of our students who do identify as students of color. I do want to take a moment here to share that here at Elon, we do practice inclusive excellence, which is our shared responsibility to move toward more equitable outcomes on our campus. We are supported by a number of offices here on our campus, primarily our CREED, Center for Race, Ethnicity, and Diversity Education, our Center for Access and Success, which houses some great projects like our Odyssey Scholars Program, and our first generation student support services. We are very proud to be recognized as a first gen forward institution, and some great resources there for any students who, like myself, might be the first in their family to head off to college. Geographically speaking, we are pretty central here in North Carolina. We're equidistant from the mountains as well as the coast. So if you like skiing or hiking, you've got some great mountain ranges to explore. And we're also a driving distance from the Outer Banks for some gorgeous walks on the beach. We're also about 30 minutes from the next largest city to us, Greensboro, about 45 minutes from Raleigh, our state capital, and about an hour and a half from Charlotte, all giving way to some really major airports to help our students get back home or back to any study abroad opportunities they may wish to pursue on our campus. We do experience all 4 seasons here at Elon, nothing to any extreme, but you will expect to see some snow throughout your 4 years here on campus. Now, in terms of academic life, we do have 5 undergraduate schools making up over 70 majors and minors. I do want to add in, we do have a great performing arts program. So if you are pursuing a Bachelor of Fine Arts path, you do have an auditions process with some pre-screens that do happen separate to our admission to the university. I do want to touch on our newest major, nursing. So we are really excited to have a nursing program on campus. It is a direct entry program, and we do now offer a 16-month accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing if you want to stay for 4 years and then stick around a little bit longer, or if maybe you're considering coming back to get that degree, you can do so in 16 months. Our fastest growing major right now is currently engineering. We are building our innovation quad right outside of my window. So we are really excited to give our engineering program a home for any students who may be interested. If you are admitted to Elon, you are admitted to all of these schools, and you're able to explore across all of the majors to find out what your passions may be. You are able to double major at 2 different schools and even add a minor at a 3rd school. In terms of our classroom, Elon recently received the ranking of #1 for undergraduate teaching, really speaking to the faculty you can expect to find here at Elon. 100% of our classes are taught by faculty, and we do have an average class size of 21, but you can rest assured we do cap all our classes at 33, so you never find yourself in any class larger than that, even in your first year seminars, all the way through graduation in your senior year. I do also want to highlight our Koenigsberger Learning Center, which is a great resource for any students who may need learning accommodations or have any learning differences, as well as any students who maybe need that writing center or that tutoring center to be a resource as they learn. They are a great place to make learning as accessible and as easy for you throughout college to help you succeed. Now here at Elon, we do practice our Elon experiences. These 5 are core to any Elon experience. We do require that our students complete at least 2 of these before they graduate to really set them up for success and shape and inform their experiences after Elon. I do want to highlight study abroad. We are also ranked the #1 university for our study abroad programs with over 130 different programs for students to study. We also offer hubs within the United States in Los Angeles, New York City, and Washington, D.C. Some students may find that they get to study abroad more than once here at Elon, whether it's over a winter term, a summer, or even as short as a week during their spring break. I do want to highlight a little bit on the student life as well. We do have Division I athletics on our campus, so if you are interested in pursuing that throughout your college time, I am more than happy to chat with you. You'll see 3 Instagrams linked below there for anything else you'd like to explore, like our student union board, our dining halls, as well as a recreation and wellness center. In terms of outcomes, I want to highlight our career services office here. They are ranked #4 in the nation, working day in and day out to help lead to some of these amazing outcomes that you see here on the screen as well. For our application process, I do want to highlight some of the 3 major parts of the application: your transcript, your school report coming from your counselor, as well as your essay that I love reading. It really gets to help me know you beyond just what is provided in your application. We are on the Common App and the Elon application. We have no preference as to which of the 2 you use to apply to us. They are all evaluated just the same. We are also test optional with the exception of any of our accelerated programs and our nursing program. I do also want to highlight some of our scholarship programs for you all here during our time tonight. At the bottom, you'll see the Odyssey program. It's a wonderful opportunity that meets full demonstrated need for students who are selected, and our accelerated programs, which combine your undergraduate and graduate degrees as well. We offer a 5-year physician's assistant program, a 6-year doctor of physical therapy, and a 4-year master's in business. If you are interested in applying, I certainly encourage you to do so. And those again do require your test scores. Lastly, but not least, I will share my contact information there. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I am your admissions representative in Texas, so please feel free to let me know of any questions that come up, and I'll share some extra resources in the chat. Thanks.
Thank you. So next up, we have Coastal Carolina University.
Thank you. All right. All right, so my name is William Clark. I'm an admissions counselor here at Coastal Carolina University, so thank you so much for having me. A little information about CCU. We are a very young institution. We actually were founded back in 1954. We actually were a part of the University of South Carolina back in the 90s, so I think it's really, really cool. We are a happy medium-sized school. We're actually 9 miles west of Myrtle Beach. People think we are in Myrtle Beach. We're actually in Conway, South Carolina. We have a little over 10,000 students. We have 5 academic colleges. So if you want to go into education, marine science is a very popular major here. If you want to go into business, communication, things like that, we definitely have majors like that for you. We also have over 100 programs to study. So we actually make it easier for students to kind of find their niche of what they want to do. Student faculty ratio is actually pretty cool. The average classroom size is between 20 to 30 students. And then depending on your major, that classroom size may go down. And even in your graduate level study classes, those classroom sizes won't be too big as well. 79% of our faculty have a doctoral or terminal degree. So you're getting a really good education from people who know what they're talking about. I think it's really, really neat, especially when you graduate, you need a letter of recommendation that can always benefit. I always say getting involved is really neat, makes you healthier and happier. We have Greek Life. We have a radio station that I was a part of here on Coastal's campus. We have club sports. We have SGA. We have a radio station. We even have a Quidditch team if you actually are really interested in Harry Potter. So I think, so there's definitely a lot for students to have here on campus. And if something that you don't see is on here, you and some friends get together and create something. We have 19 Division I athletics on our campus. Our football team has done pretty well this year. Our baseball team won the College World Series as well. So we also have, volleyball, softball, soccer, you name it. We are in the Sun Belt Conference. So we're not a Power 5 conference team. We are a G5. But I think it's really cool that we're still getting some speculation from around the country. And if you don't want to play on the D1 level, you can play intramurals as well. We get over 15,000 applications a year. We get a lot of students from the Mid-Atlantic area all the way up to the DMV. Especially, from Virginia, Maryland, DC. Is really, really neat. I'm originally from DC, but I've lived in South Carolina for over 20 years. So we're about 50% in-state, 49% out-of-state, 2% international. So it's really, really neat to see where students are coming from all over the place. Middle 50% range right here, 3.2 to a 4.0, 19 to a 24 on the ACT, a 1020 to 1150 to make you a competitive applicant. And we were actually planning on going test optional. So we look for a 3.5 GPA along with your rigorous college prep classes. So if you have AP, honors, dual enrollment, things like that, we encourage you to apply as test optional. If you don't necessarily meet those requirements, send in letters of recommendation, essays, statements, kind of show us, what makes you you and things like that. This is basically the core requirements we look for when it comes to students in general. So if you don't see something on here that necessarily meets your high school requirements, don't panic. We have admissions counselors that are always willing to work with out-of-state students because we tend to be more flexible with those students. This is just the South Carolina core requirements, so don't panic. We are rolling admissions, so we're always taking your application and taking in new information as time goes on. So basically, December 1st is the main date that you need to remember for merit awards, freshman-based scholarships. And we do have 2 ways for you to apply, the CCU application, and we actually just started using the Common App. And we just started reviewing applications. So once you actually receive everything, well, as an institution, once we receive everything, you'll actually receive your decision within the next 3 to 4 weeks. But that's actually pretty much all I have. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. So if you have any information or any questions for me, by all means, this is my information right here. You can always call, you can always text, and I'm always willing to help out. I love helping out students. So yeah, without anything further said to be done, I'm out.
All right. I would love for all of our presenters to come back. Thank you so much. Come back on the screen if you want to turn on your cameras. We have a few questions that we're going to answer just to give you some ideas about the college search process and for them to share some thoughts and some nuggets of wisdom. So the first question I would love for you to answer in the same order that you presented. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Check your email. I would say create maybe a new email address for the college process. We often see things get filtered out that are blocked from school email addresses. Things go to promotions and Gmail. We still operate everything we do through an email. Your login is done through an email. Everything we send you that way. So it's important to maintain and keep up with those emails.
I think one thing you want to keep in mind is just remembering that not every school is for everyone. So just because your sibling went there, or your parents went there, or your friend went there, it might not be the school for you, and that's okay too. So just want to make sure that you find whatever fits best for you.
And I would definitely say be open to opportunities, especially when it comes towards major choice and also just colleges when you're going through the search process. There's a lot of majors out there. If you are unsure, apply undecided. Don't feel like you have to make a decision right now.
Man, those are all such great advice. I love it. I think what I have for y'all is just to really enjoy the process. This is such an exciting time of life, and it goes by so fast. Enjoy this whole process, explore all of your options, and you have so many people here to help you as far as admissions counselors and high school counselors and parents and friends. Just make this as enjoyable and try to make it as stress-free as possible.
Ask questions along the way. There is no harm in asking and using your resources, connecting with people. You never know where that may lead you. So definitely in your moments of anxiety and nervousness, reach out to your support systems, to your colleges, even if you've got questions along the way. And then once you're at your chosen university, ask questions of the people around you, get to know them, and really make the most out of those connections. College campuses are such special places, so definitely make the most of that experience.
Yeah, I always say ask questions, like you just said. Ask questions and even visit campuses. I mean, literally, I think that makes a difference for a lot of students, whether the campus is very small, whether the campus is really big. You just never know what you'll find. And then while you're there, like you said, us as admissions counselors, we're going to be there. Financial aid's going to be there. Go there and, fill the place out, ask people questions, look around the dorms, look around the facilities, see if that's what makes you comfortable. Location, because you'll be there for 4 years. That's the goal. So you want to make sure it's the right fit for you.
Great. So next question, same order. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school? Just one.
Oh, this one's hard. I would say this is specific to our friends here in Texas. If there's one thing to remember about the University of Tennessee, it is that we are the original UT, founded in 1794. Texas wasn't a state till 1836. So if there is one and only UT in our hearts, then that is the University of Tennessee.
It's gonna be hard to follow on. I think for USC, for us, one of my things is that we have a surprisingly, I would say, tight-knit community for a school of our size. It's a very supportive environment, and I hope that's something students take away when they're able to visit.
I would have to say for NC State, the biggest thing to take away is definitely our think and do mentality across the board. Whatever your major possibly could be, it's definitely a hands-on learning environment. So large university, plenty of opportunities, but definitely that think and do motto shines through.
Here at High Point University, I want you to remember that we are the premier life skills university. So of course, you're going to get an excellent academic experience, but you will also be building those essential skills that are going to make you stand out in your post-college journey.
For Elon, I would say definitely remember the study abroad opportunities. We are very globally aware and globally present. So there is so much to explore beyond the four corners that we spend a lot of our time in. So definitely consider that and consider the opportunities to get out and explore the US and beyond during your college time.
I actually kind of have fun with this one because no matter where you go, people can't pronounce our mascot's name or our mascot here. I know, Scott, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. It's called a Chanticleer. It looks like Chanticleer. It's not chandelier. It's Chanticleer. We are a fictional character from Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. So that's what we are. So we are a crafty rooster. So I always want people to understand, like, do you see Coastal Carolina and things like that? It's a humorous thing. We are called the Chanticleers, but we are a really cool small community school, and we enjoy having, building those relationships. But anywhere you go, you say, that's $1 million question. How do you pronounce Coastal Carolina's mascot? It's a Chanticleer, not Chanticleer.
Chanticleer it is. Now I know. Last question, and this is one, if you haven't been taking notes, this is your time to pull out your pen. What is one thing, one myth you want to debunk about the college admission process?
I would think that, I have the book up here on my shelf, and I know I think my colleagues would agree that the mentality that where you go is not who you'll be. There are a lot of different options out there. There are a lot of different great fits for people, and there are more than just 10 or 15 great institutions to choose from. And so it's not about necessarily the name on the degree or the pedigree of an institution. It's about what you do to be successful and how you advocate for yourself, the resources you take advantage of, the people you meet at any of our institutions. So just keep that in mind. You will do well at anybody's school here on the screen or wherever you go. There's a lot of opportunity out there.
I think along those lines, it's something where every school that you go to, it depends on what you make it. So of course, there are different schools that are going to be great for different reasons. But like Richard said, there's so many great options that there are going to be somewhere you might not have ever considered, but had you gone to that school, you might have done equally as well. You might have done better. So it's really it's up to you to make that experience as significant and as great as it can really be, and not just rely on the school itself.
I would have to say we are in the world of admissions, not denial. We want to admit you. We are looking for reasons to admit you to our university. So make sure that you are including everything that you can in your application. We want to get to know you better, but also reaching out if you have questions. We are your resource. Hopefully you can see we're not scary either. Like, we want to have conversations with students. So if you have questions, definitely feel free to reach out. As we all mentioned, we're very accessible, but we are here to admit you. So make sure you're highlighting that in your application.
I think one myth is you have to know what you want to do or major in before you get to college, and you absolutely don't. We completely understand that 17, 18 years old, you probably don't have your life figured out, because I absolutely didn't. So it's okay. And it is okay to change your major and change what you think your life path is when you get to college. So you don't need to have everything figured out. Don't add that stress to yourself.
I will echo what Erin shared. It is not a scary, rigid process, the college admissions process. We want to have fun reading your application as much as you may have fun filling it out. So certainly let your personality shine through. Don't feel like you have to cater it to be something that you think we may want to hear. We really want to know you as a person and what you can contribute and take from the institution you're applying to.
You know, people say your college process begins in your junior and senior year. It doesn't. It goes back to your freshman year, even before that, because it starts with your grades, you know, and what you're doing and stuff like that. And before you know it, you're already a senior in high school and you missed out on, oh, I should have done better right here. You know, so we have, if you are a younger sibling or you have younger siblings, you kind of pass it on, say, hey, you know, this is what needs to be done when you start looking at colleges, and then start looking at colleges, start, you know, going out to certain states or, you know, doing these college visits all, if you can, all 4 years of your high school year. So it definitely starts at an early age, and definitely have fun for sure. Going off Elon and North Carolina State, it's a really fun process as well.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much to our presenters. I hope you took some of this information in, and also just know that we are really appreciative of you being here this evening. When you get ready to close your Zoom, there's going to be a quick 5-question survey that's going to pop up. So please give us your feedback. There are additional sessions happening this evening and also for the next day, tomorrow. So make sure you're signing up for additional sessions. This session has been recorded, and you'll be able to find this session and others at strivescan.com/Texas. So thank you very much. Have a good night.